Good afternoon. Today I'm going to be making venison steaks with Hasselback potatoes and acorn squash. So I'll show you how I do the Hasselback potatoes. Venison steak is just going to take minutes to cook, and then we have the acorn squash. And I'll show you how I make this in this episode. So what you want to do is take your potato and you're going to cut one little side like this, and that's just so that the potato lays flat. You can also cook this with the potato. And I take 2 spoons like that because you don't want to go all the way through. So you're just going to cut down and you're going to make small little slices like this to the wood. So you see where I'm going with this is you're going to have these slices in it. And I'll do the other one and show you when they're done. So obviously the potatoes have been washed and scrubbed, skin on. You want the skin on. So now we're going to take olive oil and we're going to be rubbing them in olive oil, and I'm going to melt butter. We're going to add salt to the butter. And this is what you're going to be basting your potatoes with throughout the bake. It's going to take about an hour. On a normal oven, they're talking 400 to 425. Okay, it's been in about 20 minutes. So I'm going to take that out. The only reason I'm taking them out, it's so hot in there. I don't want to burn my hand. And so what I'm going to do here is, as you can see, they're nice, and what I do here is I take the butter. And you see how they're starting to separate? Get out of the light here. You can see they're starting to separate a little bit, but we want this butter to go all over these. And you can, those little pieces there, I'll probably take them out the next time and eat them. Eventually, I'm going to pry these slits open with a knife, but not right yet. We'll let these potatoes cook a little bit more. So you're just kind of basting these with that butter and salt mixture. I have the acorn squashes in the back. So the acorn squash is in the back of the oven. Then we're just going to let that cook. And so roughly these will go about an hour. And just when they're ready to come out, you can see the acorns back there. I'll do the steaks. And the venison's only going to take a couple minutes. You don't overcook it. You want to just cook it just so it's red in the middle. It's really easy to cook. So I've taken them out again. And you can see that they're really starting to separate. I'll probably take those chips out. Snack on those for a little bit. But again, we're going to baste them. You want to get that butter down in the... You want that butter to kind of just drip down into those cuts. Absorbs it right into it. Make sure it looks good. Like I say, we're just using a simple salt, pepper mix, like a coarse kosher salt mix. Not going crazy. They put rosemary on them. They put thyme and all that. So we just like the salt. And now when we do the venison, that's also going to have salt in it. So, you know, we don't want to just overload it. But the venison will be cooked with, again, more butter, which is great. And salt and garlic. And that's it. And that's just going to be cooked right on top of the stove. So I've taken them out and I'm separating the slits. And you don't want to separate them too soon because you'll dry the potato out, but these things are almost done. As a matter of fact, they probably are done, but I'm going to keep them in a little longer. Now when I'm basting them now, it's just going to go right down inside those. All that flavor. Squash will be done in about 15 more minutes. We'll take these out. These are the chips I took out. Pretty tasty. A little bit more in here. Back in the oven. It's getting time for the venison. So first thing I'm going to do is put this pan on here with some butter in it, more butter. I'm going to take this garlic and put a little garlic in it. Now on your Hasselback potatoes, you can also use garlic powder, also in there. A lot of people do. I mean, I'm just using a basic thing. I like to cut the garlic nice and thin with the venison. Garlic and venison go very good together. So this is going to go into the frying pan. Venison, pretty simple. Salt and pepper. These steaks here, I cut off the hind quarter of one of our deer. I mean, these, you see that there is no fat in these. You don't want to overcook them. They'll taste like shoe leather. Salt. And these, again, I don't know. Don't want to overcook them. A little pepper. All right. Don't need a lot of butter for this. As you can see, it's not going to take long to cook these. Okay, so this is done. You don't want, again, you don't want to overcook these. You want them pink in the middle or red, depending on your flavor. It doesn't take long to cook venison. You pour a little bit of that sauce on those potatoes too. So it really doesn't take long. Hour for the potatoes and the squash. Simple to do. Venison, minutes. It just, we've cooked it so many times, it's no problem for us. But when you want this venison to look like this.
No, it says check in February 7th.
Oh, the dates are wrong then. See how nice and red that is? That's what you want. Just like that.